Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline at Pixie Dust PhD. We have a slew of Disney Vacation Club news and updates to go over. Hat tip to dvcnews.com. Be sure to follow along either on their website or various social medias. And if you enjoy content like this, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, then you can ring that bell icon and receive a notification whenever I upload new videos. Plus your comments down below, shares with friends, and watching other videos really helps me out. Let's get into it. So each year in early to mid-December, Disney Vacation Club hosts their Condominium Association meeting. Traditionally, this is in-person attendance only at the Contemporary Resort. I did not physically go myself. I will be relaying information to you again from dvcnews.com. Thanks so much to them for their awesome coverage. At that Condo Association meeting, we did get the first look at the interiors of the forthcoming DVC cabins at Fort Wilderness. These will sleep up to 6 guests, and it's anticipated that these will join the timeshare program around summer of 2024. We had seen an artist rendering of the outside of the cabins, but now we've got our first look at the interior. Here specifically are snippets of your living room as well as dining/kitchen area. You can see what almost surely is that Murphy in-wall bed that you'll pull down over the couch. We've also got some fun artwork there as well as accent pillows, and Chippendale are set to be featured. At the edge of that living room wall, you can take a peek into the dedicated bedroom. Then the opposite end of that picture shows the beginnings of your kitchen dining area. If these do indeed end up debuting in summer of 2024, we're not really all that far away from them. Definitely nice to see this update. Leadership also spent a slew of time giving us updates on the refurbishments. The refurbishments at Boulder Ridge Villas and Beach Club Villas are complete. I don't believe this was said during the Condo Association meeting, but the refurbishment over at the Boardwalk is ongoing. Vero Beach is set to receive a focus refurbishment, and Hilton Head is getting its full refurbishment. They also reconfirmed that Bay Lake Tower is on the slate for a full refurbishment in 2024. Apparently, the infrastructure of the tower makes it a little more complicated to refurb, so this may take a full year, maybe even longer. Then the 2025 refurbishment slate does have Animal Kingdom Villas, that's both Jambo and Kidani, the Treehouse Villas at Saratoga Springs, Copper Creek, as well as Grand Californian. Another big topic, of course, was the dues increase. It was stated that about 2/3 of annual dues is operating expenses, and the remaining 1/3 goes to taxes and reserves. We have seen an increase in liability insurance and cast member salaries. Those are driving factors in the increase of the operating expenses. And then more generally, there also has been an increase in taxes and reserves. And if you aren't aware, the 2024 annual dues rates are out. I am planning to cover this in a future video on the channel, so stay tuned. For those of you who love your H2O bath products, I have great news for you. Despite the earlier kerfuffle that these will be discontinued, what is actually going to happen is that the formulation is going to remain identical. They'll just be Disney branded instead of H2O branded. What's your favorite H2O scent? I personally like the sea salt one. Let me know in the comments down below. And probably the biggest news to come out of the Condo Association meeting came from the Q&A session. An audience member inquired if the new Polynesian Tower will be part of the existing association or a new association. The response was that their plans for right now are for the tower to be part of the existing Polynesian resort. Again, thanks to dvcnews.com for providing this quote. Now, there is some debate online because the answer did say Polynesian Resort and not the existing association. That being said, because the question was specifically about the association, I'm under the assumption that this means the new tower will be part of the same existing association that contains the studios and the bungalows. If Disney Vacation Club leadership did not want to answer this, they could have simply declined. Instead, they did answer, and yes, they used the word resort, but what is the benefit of them sort of taking that asterisk of, oh, well, we said the resort, not the association 6 months from now, right? Like, I don't think that they're there to just anger a room full of DVC members. So yes, the verbiage in this answer was not perfect, but I really think it's like a 98% sign that the new tower, the Polynesian, is going to be part of the existing Poly Association. If/when that ends up being true, there are, of course, a couple of implications. First, if you are a Polynesian resort owner, you have a home resort there right now, whether it's direct or resale, you should continue to get homeowner priority at 11 months out at the new tower. Second, if you are a resale owner that's restricted and your home resort is anywhere except for Riviera and Villas at Disneyland Hotel at this point, then you should be able to use your resale points to book stays at the new Polynesian Tower. Another thing I've talked about with a few friends is that I think it's likely direct pricing will change. Right now, if you buy a contract for the Polynesian directly through Disney, that's priced at $250 per point, excluding any sort of incentive. When that new Polynesian Tower debuts for sale, they'll have a new influx of points that they need to sell. So now that resort will no longer be sold out. This also fairly recently happened with villas at Grand Floridian. They had the set number of villas, then they added a bunch more, it went back on sale for direct, and then the price dropped. I personally don't think we're going to see the Polynesian maintaining a price at $250 per point once the tower goes on sale. So if you are debating buying direct, you really want a Polynesian home resort, I would say maybe wait until we have tower sales. It's likely that price will come down, and then if you can tack on Magical Beginnings onto it or another incentive, fantastic. That's all pure speculation though, so don't hold me to it. Additionally, if you are moving forward with the understanding that the new Polynesian Tower will be part of the same association as the existing villas and bungalows, then there's really nothing stopping you from pursuing the resale market either. And yes, that resale contract could be a Polynesian home resort if you really want that 11 months first dibs. But remember that if we are under the assumption that it's going in the same association, then you can buy a resale contract anywhere that's not Riviera or Villas at Disneyland Hotel, and those points will work at the tower. For me, this was definitely the biggest piece of news to come out of that condo association meeting. Let me know how you feel below. Then there's just 2 bits of other DVC news items I wanted to touch on that came outside of the condo association meeting. First, the 2025 points charts are live. I didn't do an exact one-to-one comparison, but I did a brief overview, and they look largely unchanged from the 2024 points charts to me. As per usual, some of the dates in the travel periods had been adjusted. This occurs to accommodate different dates of American holidays. For example, American Thanksgiving is not a set date every year, it does kind of float. So then you'll see the travel period that contains American Thanksgiving changing a little bit year to year, just those dates to accommodate whenever Thanksgiving falls. For me personally, I think it's good news that the points charts aren't dramatically changing. This means the way I've been thinking about the prior points charts, 2023, 2024, still applies to 2025 vacations. And finally, I wanted to note that the transient accommodation tax for stays at the Villas at Disneyland Hotel on points have increased. For 2024, these are about $2.78 per point, meaning that if you have a 100-point stay at VDH, you will end up owing $278. This is typically paid upon arrival, but I believe it has to be paid before you check out. For 2025 stays, this tax has increased to about $2.87 per point. Because these are assessed on a per point basis, of course, the more points you use for your vacation, the more taxes you're going to owe. And my understanding is this does apply to everyone staying at points at VDH, it's not just home resort owners. For example, say you have points assigned to the Old Key West home resort that you bought directly from Disney. You can go ahead and use those points to stay at Villas at Disneyland Hotel, but again, you will be paying this tax on a per point basis for your stay. There's really nothing we can do about this, but it is just information that you need to know when you're planning your vacation. You are going to owe some amount of cash to pay for these taxes, again, typically assessed at arrival, but definitely do before you check out. Those were the relevant highlights I wanted to cover. I would love to hear about your reactions to this news in the comments down below. Plus, if there was any Disney Vacation Club news I missed, definitely let me know. A 2024 annual dues breakdown video is coming probably in early January. Please do subscribe to the channel and ring that bell icon so you don't miss that upload. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and end of your year. May the rest of your day be magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.